Good morning. My name is Rod Canyon, and I am the president of Compaq Computer Corporation. We have invited you here today in order to introduce a new product which we think will be of significance to the personal computer industry as well as to Compaq Computer Corporation. Almost exactly a year ago today, we introduced our first product, the Compaq Portable Personal Computer. At that time, I said we regarded Compaq not as a startup, but as a major company in its formative stage. A year later, we're well on our way. Our first product has met with substantial success, and the company today is considered by many to be a major factor in the industry. From its conception, Compaq has intended to provide the business and professional user with high-value personal computer products that would establish new standards of quality, reliability, and usefulness. The marketplace has acknowledged that the first Compaq product, a full-function 16-bit portable personal computer that is truly compatible with the IBM personal computer, has achieved just that. And today, we would like to introduce a major addition to the Compaq family, the Compaq Plus. This is the Compaq Plus, the first high-performance portable personal computer. It is a 16-bit personal computer that is compatible with the IBM Personal Computer XT. It has been specially designed and engineered to have the strength and durability to enable a 10-megabyte fixed Winchester disk drive to operate reliably in the rugged environments where portables are used. It is intended to satisfy three major classes of customers that the current Compaq computer does not address. One, those customers who are currently using diskette-based personal computers and have outgrown the storage capacity that diskettes provide. Two, customers who have not purchased personal computers because diskette storage does not satisfy their needs. And three, customers who are currently using an IBM XT and need a portable computer in addition to their desktop system. The fixed disk of the Compaq Plus provides substantially increased speed and storage capacity over diskette-based systems. The 10-megabyte storage, 10 million characters, means a capacity of almost 30 times that of a diskette. This means that more than 5,000 pages of double-spaced text, or a mailing list of 100,000 names, addresses, cities, states, and zip codes, are all the statistics contained in 6 months of Standard & Poor's Bond Guide, could be stored on the fixed disk and carried with you wherever you take your personal computer. We at Compaq have been asked frequently in the last year if we would be introducing a Winchester disk. Our answer has been that we would not do so until we were certain that it could be made extremely reliable. By reliable, we meant overcoming the traditional problems and risks associated with the extraordinary sensitivity of Winchester disk drives. We believe that we have indeed succeeded in achieving a breakthrough of fixed disk reliability in a portable environment. The key to this breakthrough is the combination of a 3.5-inch small, lightweight Winchester disk drive and a triple shock mount system for shock isolation. The fact that the drive is much smaller than the 5.25-inch drives found in all other personal computer systems today means there's much more room available for absorbing the shock when a shock is run into. The fact that the drive is much lighter than its 5.25-inch counterpart means there is much less energy to be absorbed, and therefore the drive can be protected even more. After designing the product to be truly rugged, we then performed extensive testing to verify the design. We submitted the Compaq Plus to intensive shock and vibration testing and proved that, in fact, it could perform well in the conditions a portable computer would normally experience. But we went one step further. Since it is important that a user's data survive under the worst possible conditions, we subjected units to tests that passed the point of destruction for the system, and the disk drive and its data remained intact. Shock and vibration are not the only adverse conditions which can affect a portable computer's reliability. Extreme changes in temperature and humidity are hard on any computer system, and especially are difficult for a high-density Winchester disk. And portables are typically exposed to the extreme differences between outside weather and inside controlled conditions. Again, in this area, we performed extensive testing which confirmed that the Compact Plus will operate properly after being exposed to such conditions. The final result is a product that Compact can stand behind as being truly reliable under the conditions associated with portability. And we believe that the Compact Plus is the first product to achieve this degree of fixed disk ruggedness. There are several other advantages that the Compact Plus that should be noted. They are in the areas of software compatibility, the display, and the packaging. Regarding compatibility, as with the IBM PC, the PCXT has been and will be setting a new standard for application software. It is therefore critically important for any company that wants to be a major factor in the industry to achieve true compatibility with the XT. And that is not easily done. The XT has enhancements in both software and hardware that give it a personality of its own. This presented Compact with a new challenge, and only through our understanding of the technology of compatibility were we able to deliver this valuable benefit to our customers. We believe the Compact Plus is the first personal computer to be shipped with a fully compatible MS-DOS 2.0 and BASIC 2.0. Let me point out here that many significant companies in this industry still confuse the compatibility issue. A common misconception, for instance, is that providing MS-DOS is sufficient to achieve a useful degree of compatibility. In fact, recently, a major personal computer company said that it now acknowledged IBM's position in corporate America and would be adding MS-DOS to its products. Most of the popular programs require a much deeper level of compatibility than MS-DOS provides. True compatibility simply means being able to run IBM PC and PCXT software off the shelf without modification. Achieving true compatibility was a fundamental premise of Compact Computer Corporation from its beginning. It is a technology we have been developing since February of 1982. It wasn't easy, and it took a lot of time and resources to achieve. Even today, very few companies have actually achieved true compatibility. As important as compatibility is, it is still only the ticket that gets you into the door to corporate America. If a product is to succeed, it must offer additional advantages. One major advantage the Compact Plus has over its competitors, including the IBM XT, is its display. First, we went to great lengths to make the display very readable. Characters appear on the screen in a high-resolution 9:14 font so that their shape and separation are near optimal. Let your eyes tell you the difference between looking at a full screen of text on a Compact versus many of our competitors. Some of them do provide high-resolution characters that are relatively easy to read. IBM is one that does. But IBM left out another very important capability on its monochrome display: graphics. To get graphics on the IBM PC and XT requires the addition of another controller board, another CRT monitor, a very expensive and awkward solution. On the Compact and the Compact Plus, it's available on the same built-in display. A few competitors other than IBM do offer graphics on the same screen as their high-resolution text. But those that do missed a very important point. They sacrifice compatibility with the IBM graphics software, meaning that software written for the IBM graphics will not run on their system. The real trick is to provide high-resolution text and IBM PC-compatible graphics on a single built-in display. This is difficult to accomplish because of the way IBM designed the PC. We believe that the Compact and the Compact Plus are the only products in production today with this capability. We have applied to obtain a patent on this unique and important capability. Another distinctive advantage of the compact computers is their packaging. They have a low-profile configuration that allows them to sit on a desk and not get in the way. One doesn't have to peer around or over a compact to talk to the person using it, nor does he or she have to look at a tangle of wires and cables on the back of the unit. If you need to clear your desk, the compact keyboard snaps into place quickly, and the entire unit can be picked up by its handle and set aside. Try that sometime with a typical desktop computer. But you had better think again before you try it with any fixed disk system. It is inadvisable to frequently move a Winchester disk system that has not been designed for such movement. A reading of the IBM XT manual illustrates this point. It warns about such movement and describes the elaborate steps needed to ensure no damage occurs when the unit is moved. If you have a Compact Plus, go ahead and pick it up. And don't worry if you bump it in the process, because it was designed to take much greater shocks. And that's the real plus. Its ruggedness is valuable even when you don't travel with your compact. By the way, in case you haven't noticed, all the features I have been describing are valuable whether you use your compact as a portable or not. We believe that Compact's approach to packaging marks the beginning of a new class of full-function personal computers, one where compact styling and transportability are standard features. To sum it all up, what we are introducing today is a full-function personal computer with a 10 megabyte fixed Winchester disk drive, a 360 kbyte diskette drive, and 128 kbytes of RAM that has a suggested retail price of $4,995. Last week we began rolling out the Compact Plus to our more than 750 authorized compact computer dealers nationwide. We plan to complete the rollout to all of our dealers by the end of November. For those compact portable computer owners, present and future, who find a need for the increased storage capacity which a fixed disk provides, we are offering an upgrade option for $2,500. What this means is that a personal computer buyer who is not certain whether or not they need this higher capacity can safely buy a standard compact and easily upgrade to a Winchester disk whenever the need becomes clear. Just as its products are different, so too is Compact Computer Corporation. At this time, I'd like to take a few minutes to update you on the developments of the last 12 months and to explain why we think Compact is different. A major reason for our performance this year is rooted in our beginnings and our initial concept. Compact was founded on a strong belief that IBM would be the personal computer market leader and would set a clear standard for software architecture. Several companies producing personal computers have recently reported financial problems and other difficulties. There are, of course, individual reasons in each case, but common to many of the reports was the theme that the companies, to some degree, were unable to or failed to acknowledge the presence and leadership of the IBM personal computer in this young industry. Another way Compact is different is how we chose to market and sell our products. At the outset, we recognized the importance of making the correct choice of our distribution channel. At that time, there was incredible flux and chaos existing in the marketplace, from direct sales, distributors, and mail order houses, to storefront shops and major national dealer chains. And we were able to learn from what others were doing. We elected to avoid the problems and conflicts that had plagued others and go directly to high-quality computer specialty dealers, both chains and individuals, and establish a long-term partnership with them by providing a reasonable profit margin along with extensive training, service, and product support. That meant we would not do the expected and conventional. We would not develop a direct sales program to handle large volume sales to major corporations, as all of the established computer companies, including IBM, have done. Nor would we rely on third-party distributors to handle a large number of small dealers, as most new personal computer suppliers had done. Had we done either of these, we could have created severe and potentially damaging conflicts with the dealer base. We moved quickly, even before production began, to select the best computer specialty dealers throughout the country to handle all of our sales. They were well-established, proven dealers, most of whom had already been selected by IBM to carry the PC. The objective was to get the compact computer on the limited shelf space of key dealers. We succeeded, and today are pleased to be partners with such outstanding organizations as Businessland, Computerland, Entree Computer Centers, Sears Business System Centers, the MathBox, ComputerWorks, Future Information Systems, Morris Decision Systems, and Prodigy, just to mention a few. It should be pointed out here that a common misconception exists regarding the ability of dealers to sell to large companies. Many of the compact dealerships have large, experienced sales staffs who deal directly and almost exclusively with Fortune 1000 companies. Through our dealers, we have sold compact portable computers in volume to a large number of major corporations and government agencies, including Texaco, American Airlines, Westinghouse, First Boston Corporation, Exxon, and the U.S. Navy. Now with regard to changes in the last 12 months. To the experienced management team that formed the basis of Compaq, in the last year we have been fortunate in filling key management positions with people of proven capability and substantial experience with major corporations. They are Ben Rosen, who was named chairman of the board earlier this year. Ben, of course, is head of Seven Rosen Partners, a major venture capital firm which was the lead investor in Compaq and critical in our raising a record $30 million in funding in our first year. Sparky Sparks, who had spent 20 years with IBM, was director of sales and service for the IBM PC, joined us as vice president of sales and service earlier this year, and has been responsible for continuing to build the dealer network that has been critical to our success. And today we are pleased to announce the recent addition of two more key members of our management team. Jim Eckhart has joined us as Senior Vice President of Operations. He comes to us from Prentice Corporation, where he was President and Chief Executive Officer for the last year and a half. Prior to that, he spent 17 years as a Senior Manager with Texas Instruments, the last 5 as an Assistant Vice President. And Eckhard Pfeiffer, our new Vice President of Europe, who previously was with Texas Instruments for 20 years, most of which was spent in international marketing and sales. He had been a Vice President of TI since 1982. Compaq currently employs more than 500 people and occupies nearly 250,000 square feet of office and manufacturing space. Our manufacturing facilities are now operating in 159,000 square feet in Northwest Houston, with plans to construct an additional 100,000 square feet of space next year. With regard to financing, we raised $30 million in venture capital during our first year and subsequently obtained an additional $35 million line of credit to finance the extraordinary increase in production volume which was necessary to meet the demand for the compact portable. In conclusion, I hope that this has given you a clear picture of the Compaq Plus and the changes that have occurred to Compaq Computer Corporation during the last year. There's one more thing that I need to mention. As we announced earlier today, we have filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission for an initial public offering of 6 million shares of common stock. The proceeds will be used for additional production capacity and working capital. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have, but first, let me introduce the Compaq management team present here today. Jim Eckhart, Senior Vice President of Operations. Wayne Collins, Vice President of Corporate Resources, in the back. Steve Flanagan, Vice President of Software Development, over here on the side. Yeah, later. Jim Harris, Vice President of Engineering. Steve over there. Bill Murto next to Jim, Vice President of Marketing. Sparky Sparks, Vice President of Sales and Service.
Standing over here.
Oh.
My chair right here.
Wait. The Board of Directors of Compaq are also here today. Ben Rosen is Chairman of the Board, hiding in the back by the coffee. LJ Seven and John Doerr. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them at this time.
Mel Mandel, Computer Decision. How much heavier is this model than the prior model?
The question is, how much heavier is this model than the prior model? And I'm glad you asked that question. This model is actually slightly lighter than the 2-diskette version. Of course, it's the 3.5-inch Winchester that is lighter than a diskette drive.
How heavy is it?
It's about 31 pounds. Yes.
Who's your OEM for the disk drive?
We buy the disk drive currently from Rodyme. Huh?
How many slots are available for expansion now?
There are 2 slots remaining after adding the controller for the Winchester. Uh-huh.
Was there any thought to two slimline floppies and a hard disk to maintain the
There has been some thought put into that alternative, and we don't believe it makes sense right now. It's a possible different product in the future. Uh-huh.
How many units did you sell in the first year?
I'd really like to talk about that. My lawyer has advised us that we shouldn't go into those things today, even though they are available in the prospectus. You can get a prospectus later today if you like from either Rothschild or E.F. Hutton. Uh-huh.
Is MS-2 available for you for previous compact buyers?
Yes, it is. It will also be offered separately.
What price?
Where's the bill? Do you know that?
$49.95.
$49.95. Yes, uh-huh.
Does that noise the sound of the Winchester?
Well, I don't hear the Winchester. I hear the fan because I'm standing right here beside it, but I don't believe that the Winchester is very difficult to detect. The drive has many features associated with it. Its lightweight, its quietness, the energy and the heat that it generates are all significant advantages. Uh-huh.
What's the price of upgrading from hard disk?
If you take a standard compact, it's $2,500. Uh-huh.
How do you back up the hard disk version?
With floppies.
How long does that take?
Depends on how much data you're backing up. The typical backup procedure, I think, that most XT users have adopted is to make one backup fairly infrequently and then back up new files as you change them. If you were to back up the whole disk drive, it could be up to 29 floppies, so that would take a few minutes. Uh-huh.
Is there any way to interface that with a tape backup?
We do not offer a tape drive interface in this model. Uh-huh.
Is Compact giving any thought to any other peripherals like Bluetooth or something like that?
Well, we're continually evaluating a lot of different opportunities in the market. It's also our policy not to comment on future products. So I'd say that in general, our policy would be to provide peripherals where it made sense for Compact and our dealers to do it that way. Uh-huh.
What warranty do you offer?
It's 90 days.
Same as Compact.
Yes.
What's the price of the other Compact?
Standard Compact is $2,995. Uh-huh.
I'm not sure if I heard the previous question right, but what's the initial value per share you're offering?
Well, again, that's information I can't comment on. I mentioned we're offering 6 million shares, but the
Prospectus, or can it be gotten from Hutton and Rothschild?
yes, both of those.
Are there people contact there to get those names here?
I guess just calling the companies, Ben. Well, ask me later, and I'll get you a name on that. Uh-huh.
Would a standard compact upgraded from hard disk be lacking any of the capability that Compact Plus would have?
No. The upgrade kit, in fact, completely converts the standard compact. All compacts that are out in the field can be upgraded. Uh-huh.
Would you be offering the Compact Plus as a 256 model?
Well, the standard machine has 128K. We offer RAM expansion kits that will carry it up to 256K on the system board without taking up any additional slots.
Will dealers be able to buy the 256K version with RAM already installed?
No, not at this time. Uh-huh.
Shipping is
Well, again, the total number, the shipping rate and so forth is something I can't comment on. We will be shipping multiple units to our dealers. Uh-huh.
Are you providing external plugs for the second floppy drive, or is that no longer on the discussion forward?
Well, there's no room after you add the Winchester disk for a second floppy drive, and there's also no cable that allows you to do that outside. Yes, uh-huh.
Are you going to be doing the upgrade for the hard disk or the dealers? And if so, what's the security along with that level again?
Well, the dealers will be doing all the upgrades. We anticipate upgrade kits will begin to be available this year and will be available in volume in the first quarter. Uh-huh.
Can you talk about your dealer base, expansion plans there?
In general, all future projections and plans are, I shouldn't talk about today. I'm sorry. Uh-huh.
What level of international distribution do you have?
As I mentioned, we hired a vice president of Europe who is over there now. We've set up a subsidiary in Germany. Eckhard Pfeiffer, P-F-E-I-F-F-E-R. He's a German national, and he is going to be pulling Compaq into Europe. Uh-huh.
There has been some talk and rumor within the industry about IBM coming out with a proprietary operating system that it alone will own and publish software for. Are you at all concerned about that in relation to Compaq?
Well, I think anything IBM does in this industry is of interest to Compaq and has the potential to create new opportunity. IBM has set a standard which, because all the third-party hardware and software companies have adopted it, and so many end users out there are using that software and hardware around that standard really doesn't belong to them anymore. It sounds strange until you really step back and think about it. Even if IBM didn't support it, there's so many hundreds of thousands of users out there that is the standard of the industry. If IBM comes out with a new operating system, it will have to fight on its own to set a different standard. It will be a separate product and a separate capability. Uh-huh.
About XT370 and possibly any other expansion before the IBM announced recently, is that something that you want to comment on right now? Because Fortune 1000 people have been coming for dealers, and that's sort of an important factor. Martin again from McGraw Hill.
Well, I can't make too detailed a comment because I just announced the products. I've looked at the announcement, and my general reaction is that the products are aimed at very specific markets in IBM territory. And I don't see the 3270 communication protocol as the answer to connecting up all the PCs out there. It's got to be a local area network. Something that runs 370 software is something that I don't think you and I would know how to begin using. So I think they're interesting products to IBM and important to many of IBM's customers, but they aren't really key to the personal computer industry today. Uh-huh.
So what would happen to Compaq if IBM came out with a transportable model?
That's a good question. There's actually, we've thought about that, and Compaq's ability to handle that situation has certainly changed over the last year. We believe that our product, in fact, stands on its own as a quality product and has significant features that make it desirable to end users. If IBM were to come out with a product very similar to the Compaq, we believe we have a strong enough relationship with our dealers that they would continue to carry the Compaq. There's an interesting phenomenon that's going on in the market. IBM, it turns out, in addition to being the major product that most of our dealers are selling, is also their major competitor in the marketplace. And it just simply makes sense for them to not go solely with IBM, to have a balanced set of products from IBM and from other suppliers. So we believe that as long as we continue to supply product that is competitive, that end users desire, that we support and stand behind, that our dealers will continue wanting to do business with us. Yes.
Could you comment on the suitability of this product to work in conjunction with VisiCorp and Vision product?
VisiCorp has, I guess, recently announced Vision. Vision does run on the Compact. It has been tested and verified to run on that, and it will be available as soon as it's available in the industry. Uh-huh.
Are you planning to begin distributing any third-party software or any of your own beyond the operating system?
No, we don't. We're in general, application software is a very interesting industry. There are some real geniuses and experts who have developed all the really important software. None of the big companies have really been very successful at it. And we think we do hardware very well, and we like to make as much of that important software run as possible. But we think the software companies do a good job of that business too. Uh-huh.
Could you address the pricing issue? You've got a lot of competitors, not IBM, but Cisco, Computer, Australia. You've got all of them coming into this fancy market, and sooner or later, possibly sooner, there will be massive pressure, and you will start cutting prices for all the kids. How far can you go down in your pricing without disturbing your profitability?
That's a good question. Obviously, I can't get into the detail of that with regard to the financials. I will say, however, that while there's a range of prices available for hard disk-based systems, we believe we are the first to be truly compatible. The IBM PC XT is just about a little under $1,000 higher than the Compact. The Compact suggested retail price. We believe that the value of the Compact is very good at that price, and the industry is continuing to grow very rapidly, at least for those who are compatible with the standard that IBM has set. I'm not sure that particular phenomenon is in the near future. The oversupply, price cutting to offload supply. Well, I don't think there's an oversupply of floppies today either, at least from our point of view. Well, there's some price pressure in the market, but as near as we can tell from our dealers, there's not the kind of price pressure that you feel. There's certainly a lot of competition now between IBM and some dealers for high volume accounts, and I think that has an impact on pricing. The feedback we've got from our dealers has been that the Compact's price has held up extremely well since its beginning. Uh-huh.
Seems to be a shortage of IBM PCs and monitors. At least there was 2 weeks ago. Have you seen that? Is it benefiting yourself?
Well, it's hard to tell. There's been a shortage of Compacts also, and I don't know if that's benefited IBM or not. Probably. Probably not. It's hard to tell, really. I'm sure we've benefited in some cases from immediate supply in some locations. That's a characteristic of this marketplace. But overall, I don't think that's been the major factor. Uh-huh.
You were all limited in the number of processor drives available, because the upgrade kits would be in greater supply in the first quarter of '84. And if you are limited, is there a number you can talk about this one?
Well, as in any new product, there's usually a ramp that starts out at some reasonable number and then ramps up to whatever you can project the demand to be. So in that sense, yeah, there's a limited supply of all the components that go into the system. The limitation, however, is not exceptionally low. We think that there will be adequate drives as we ramp up our manufacturing capacity to supply the major part of the demand relatively near future.
To what extent do you think that the announcement of this product, Plus, will cannibalize the
Well, I pointed out that the new product really addresses a lot of different applications that the current product doesn't. I believe that anyone who really has to have a Winchester has already been buying Winchester disk drive systems. In fact, I think that having the upgrade kit actually increases the value of the compact. You don't have to go out, and if you're not sure whether you need the Winchester disk or not, the compact is a safer buy. If you buy the IBM PC, for example, you have to buy a big expansion chassis, and it's extremely expensive to upgrade. Compact, if you're not sure, buy the base product, and then whenever you're ready, it's available.
So you don't think that this is followed up by 10? You don't think there'll be a surge of customers going out there caring about this will swing their original doors of sales that they have to the hard disk system?
Well, there will probably be some who want to get a Winchester disk system, and there may be a short supply initially. However, the way we believe that the marketplace will respond is if they want a hard disk system, they can buy a compact, and really for no more money than it would have cost them to buy the Monarch or the Plus in the first place, they can upgrade later. So it's not a price penalty. If it's not available or they're not sure, they can buy a standard compact, and then whenever they're sure or when the supply is available, they can upgrade.
Aren't you in a little bit of a bind? On one hand, you've got a machine that is so compatible with the IBM PC and with the XP, and on the other hand, you're trying to sell it on its own merits. Do you ever find yourself coming across purchases on that?
Well, I'm sure that happens from time to time. In general, I think customers and our dealers feel that the products are compatible. They are different. IBM has its name, and Compaq has its advantages. IBM has a very good product. I respect it. Uh-huh.
Plans with the Compact PC and Compact Plus, are you thinking about endorsing any kind of local area network standard, such as 3COM's local area network, or are you thinking of releasing one of your own features?
Well, there are a number of local networks available today in the industry, in our dealers, in many of our dealers, for the Compact. There are several different alternatives. The industry, as you know, has not really adopted a standard. I believe a lot of people out there are waiting for IBM to make it stand. And we don't feel that there's a strong need for Compact to take a stand today. We believe that the industry is going to make its own decision, and we need to supply what the industry wants and when they want it. That's a ways out. Okay. We've got a few more things for you. We've got a demonstration room that's down the hall and just to the veer to the right as you go past where you came in. We've got a lot of pluses there that you can play with, you can ask questions about. We'll have all the Compact team back there to answer your questions. We also have a buffet lunch that's in the room to the right, and I guess that'll start. What time, Frank?
12:15.
Okay, the bar will be open at 12:15. Bar will be open at 12, lunch at 12:15. Thank you very much.